I don't think a day has gone by in the last 2 years where somebody hasn't asked me about Bitcoin, where it's going, where it's been, what's going to happen to it. Can I make $1 zillion? Am I going to lose all my money? And so in this video, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, briefly how it works, and the potential of the coming train wreck that I see happening in the next couple of years in Bitcoin. So what is Bitcoin? Well, let's make it briefly that it's a digital currency. Essentially, it's based in what's called blockchain. Now, what's blockchain? Well, blockchain is basically a way of putting everything together in a chain of custody. It's kind of like a title policy or like title research if you ever buy real estate. It goes back and it covers all of the chain of title, the chain of custody of the transactions. Well, the same thing is true. If you remember back to the movie Jurassic Park, they found this mosquito in the amber, and that was a couple thousand years old, and this amber had created a protection around that first mosquito. And as the years went by, every other transaction, everything that happened was kind of stuck in that amber. And so as the tree grew, as it died and petrified, it was all preserved in that amber. So no matter how old that amber was, it always had that first transaction. And so the same thing is really true in Bitcoin, in blockchain. So it takes the first transaction, and then once there's a transaction between two people, now that records that transaction. Then it records the next transaction. And it might split off and it might record the next transaction. And it happens in a series, right? And that series, that spiral just keeps going. And the bigger and the more transactions that happen, the more have to be remembered. And so every transaction is now stored in that chain, a blockchain. It's a block of information. And so what has to happen is now it's what's called distributed. So you know how we have central banks like the Fed, which prints money. Right now they're just printing a ton of it and basically ruining the US dollar. And that comes from a central bank. And Europe has a central bank, Japan has a central bank, Russia has a central bank, China has a central bank. You know, all major currencies have a central bank where they just print money, right? As people need it, they print more. And so that's a centralized system. But blockchain and Bitcoin and all the other digital currencies are what's called a distributed system, which basically means that it takes a network of computers to be able to create verified transactions. And so, sure, it's really easy when there's one transaction or two transactions. But once you start to get thousands and even millions of transactions that happen in Bitcoin, all these computers have to verify them because they all happen in a chain. And so it takes more and more power to what's called mine those transactions. It's basically just a verification and creation process. So it verifies those transactions and it creates more Bitcoin as a result or as a reward for verifying the transactions. So a couple of years ago, you were hearing all these people getting into the mining business. They were setting up all these computers to mine for Bitcoin. That's all they were doing was verifying transactions and adding more and more and more onto the billions of transactions that are happening in Bitcoin. And so people were making money in the beginning of mining. Now I think maybe 600 Bitcoins are created every single day through the mining process. So it's slowing down because it takes a huge amount of power, right? Talk about green energy. Like you're going to need a lot of green energy just to handle the mining of Bitcoin to verify all those transactions. And so Bitcoin essentially was first. It was created, let's call it 10 years ago by Satoshi Nakamoto. And we don't know who that is or what group it is. We just know that that was the creation of it. So Bitcoin was essentially first. They're certainly the biggest one. They're the most known. They do the most transactions every day, sitting here in 2021. And so Bitcoin is essentially the McDonald's of digital currency. Now, just because they're first doesn't mean they're going to be the one that remains. Now, if you remember, MySpace was first. And then Facebook came along and you don't hear about MySpace anymore. The Palm Pilot was first, you could send little emails and create your calendar on there. But now the iPhone came along and made that obsolete. And cars were first invented by guess who? Don't think it's Ford. Don't think it's GM. Don't even think it's Mercedes, which is the folklore. They were invented by the Duryea brothers, right, in the late 1800s. Edison even created the first electricity distribution it was a direct current, and he was superseded by Westinghouse and Tesla's technology, and it was basically alternating current, which is what most places use today. And so it doesn't matter if you're first. Your first means you take the arrows, right? You're the one that gets hit first, and then everybody else kind of cleans up and comes along. And so in the case of Bitcoin, they've got a really cool model, and that model is being copied by the other digital currencies. That model is, hey, we're going to create 21 million Bitcoins total, and then that's it. So that supposedly has a supply and demand component built in. And once it starts to grow and get demand, then they're just going to move the decimal place 8 places, which is called a Satoshi, I think it is. And, they're just going to create more and more Bitcoin that way. But there are only 21 million Bitcoins going to be created. And then it's going to be supply and demand that basically determines the value. The other advantages of a digital currency, it's supposed to be hard to break into. You've got millions of computers verifying and mining these transactions. You can't break into one place and change things. You have to change all the computers. It's pretty hard to do in theory. And then it's anonymous, right? So you could send Bitcoin to anybody else anonymously in the world, and that's one of the advantages. And that's also one of the disadvantages, because there's some organized crime and things that happen on digital currency, because there's no accountability or tracking. So that's laying the foundation for what Bitcoin is. Now, essentially, when it comes down to finances and whether you should invest in it, it's based on supply and demand. So more people want to buy it, there's more demand for it, the demand goes up, and so therefore the price goes up. And so because you can't continue to print more, well, the only way you can get Bitcoin is to buy it. And if you're willing to buy it for more than the last guy's willing to buy it, the price goes up. And so there's no real fundamentals of Bitcoin or blockchain. It's just based on what somebody else is willing to buy or sell it at. That's a market anyway. And that's essentially almost any currency. It's fiat currency, and its only value is that which, governments are willing to back it up. I mean, it used to be backed by gold, and then we went off the gold standard in 1971. And there's some other potential problems with gold as well. But, that used to be the backing. You used to know that backing was a metal, a scarce metal. And now it's just whatever the government says it is. Hey, we'll back it up. But if the government collapses, there's not going to be any value to the dollar. That's a fiat currency that could collapse, but it's got no fundamentals other than the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. And we've seen by studying the past that other full faith and credits of governments didn't matter when it came to supply and demand, because once people lost faith, the currency essentially went to zero. Now, could that happen with the dollar? Yeah, I think it could happen with the dollar. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Could happen 100 years from now or 100 days from now, but it's going to happen, especially the way that we're irresponsibly treating our currency. We're just printing it now like crazy. But the real thing that you should know about this, and this is going to be a little bit longer video than normal, is that Bitcoin has a potential train crash coming, right? So we're going into the tunnel, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but we don't know if that light is emerging light or if that light is another train coming. And I think there's a good possibility of another train coming. And here's what I'm talking about. Governments around the world are rushing to compete with some of these private coins, these private digital currencies like Bitcoin, like Bitcoin Cash, like Ethereum, some of the other ones. And there's hundreds and hundreds of them now because everybody sees there's an opportunity. So there's a rush to get in it. And that creates some questions for me too. Like if there's only one Bitcoin, then there's a need to drive that price higher. But if you got all kinds of currencies, like who's the winner? Why would you invest in the 10th place currency? I'm not really sure. But what's going on is the governments are trying to get into this. The US government is feverishly trying to create their own digital currency. But China is way ahead of the US. They're in fact way ahead of everybody. And so China is creating what's called a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. And let me tell you why I think they have a big advantage. First of all, they're gigantic, right? China's the biggest country people-wise in the world. They're the number 2 economy, and they're threatening the U.S. economy. In the next several years, they want to overtake the U.S. economy, and they want to overtake the U.S. in a lot of other ways too, but that doesn't really matter. The point is the economy. That's what we're talking about. And so they're creating their own e-renminbi, and that e-renminbi, which is their currency, is a digital currency. It's going to function like blockchain, except now it's got the advantage of being backed by the full faith and credit of China, 1.4 billion people or whatever the number is. And so now we've got a digital currency and all the benefits of that, and you've got the full faith and credit of a government backing it up. Now, sneakily, what they're doing is, they're having the Olympics here in a couple of years, next year, and the whole world is going to come to the Olympics. And you know what China's probably going to do? They're going to probably feature this currency. They're going to probably make it the currency that you have to use when you're at the Olympics. So you have to trade your dollars or your Australian dollars or your yen or whatever into this digital currency. And you're going to be able to use your phone to tap somebody else's phone and transfer money just like cash. And so that's the benefit. Like people always say, well, what happens if we lose the cloud, or what happens if we have a bomb that goes off and it screws up all the satellites and we lose all of our power? Well, in the case of Bitcoin, you basically lose your Bitcoin until the power comes back up. But in China's case, as long as you have a phone, you can transfer it by touching somebody else's phone, just like you can with cash. Nice benefit, right? All these people come to China, and all these people using that currency, just like they can use a credit card, is going to do a lot of disruptive things. First of all, if you don't use your credit card there, what is MasterCard, Visa, American Express, what are they going to do? They're kind of on the outside looking in, watching all this happen. Number two, it's going to create acceptability, and they're going to take it and they're going to go back home and they're going to use these RMBs, the renminbi that they have on their phone, and they'll be able to transfer it into their own currency, or they'll be able to start trading around the world with it anonymously. Now, China has the ability to allow the transaction to happen anonymously, but they also have the ability to go in and track it if there's any funny business. So that's, Big Brother be watching there. That's going to create a worldwide spread of this currency, and it's going to be able to do it faster than anybody else can do it just because of the Olympics. Now, the U.S. government is trying to catch up, right? They're about 10 years behind, but they're trying to catch up. And what they're going to do to catch up is they're going to create their own U.S. dollar-based digital currency. They're going to try to do the same things that China's going to do. And what they're probably going to do is they're going to make Bitcoin and the other digital currencies illegal. And you say, well, that can't really happen. And, it's anonymous, so they're not going to, do that. But what happens if they do? Like they did this in the 30s. They took everybody's gold. They confiscated your gold. Yeah, they gave you some value for it. But if you ended up holding gold after the confiscation period, you were a felon. You were a felon if you didn't turn your gold in. So you're buried gold in your backyard and they found it, you could go to jail. So it's going to create a huge amount of fear from the U.S. government. This is what's coming, guys, is the U.S. government saying, hey, listen, if we don't, get in this business and create protection for ourselves by making Bitcoin illegal, then we're going to be put out of business, right? People are going to be starting to use the China currency or other Bitcoin currency. So that's coming. There's a good chance in the next couple of years that Bitcoin becomes illegal and the bid will drop out of it. Nobody will be able to buy it, and it's going to go from where it is now to some very, very small fractional amount of that. And so you've got to watch out, for when a government oversteps its bounds. And they're feeling threatened, so they might. And so listen, when the music stops, right, just like it did in 2008, when all this money is moving around and all of a sudden everybody's, rushing to find those seats, and there's not enough seats for all the people, some people are going to get really hammered. And you're probably going to get really hammered if China comes out with this digital currency, which they're coming out with now. In fact, they've been using it quietly over the last couple of years. If they come out with it at the Olympics and people take this back home and it has a worldwide adoption, the U.S. dollar could lose, probably won't happen tomorrow, but it could lose its value as the world's reserve currency. So I don't want that to happen to you. Some of my wealthier clients are asking me what's going to happen with Bitcoin. It plays a part in your portfolio. Just don't roll all the dice and put everything in Bitcoin, because in one night they could tell you Bitcoin is illegal and they could take it from you. In one Summer Olympics, they could tell you that the renminbi, the digital currency of China, is now the de facto standard for trading around the world, and it could replace the US dollar. If those two things happen, one of them happens, Bitcoin's in deep trouble, or all the blockchains are in deep trouble. So just want you to see what's coming down the pike. There's a macro story here that you need to know about so that you can protect your investments, especially when investing in the blockchain.
How can we help you? 5 ways. First, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell below to make sure you get our new video the minute it comes out. Second, get a copy of my book, Hacking Money, and you'll learn a system for creating wealth through passive income so that you can build the lifestyle of your dreams. Click where it says book below. Third, If you want to hit the ground running, or if you want to learn how to invest from someone with over 44 years of investing success, click the products and programs link below. Fourth, if you want to accelerate your path to increase your wealth, consider joining one of my ecosystems. I have mentorships and mastermind programs for learning that are practically guaranteed to make you a successful investor. Or if you want to travel the world and learn from me and other multimillionaires on the path to greatness, you should consider joining my elite mastermind group. Fifth, if you want some help right now because you have a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to create massive passive income, or you want to accelerate your results in your investments, or maybe you just want personalized mentorship to build the lifestyle of your dreams, we can help. Maybe you're a multimillionaire who just wants someone else to handle some of your investing decisions and you want to invest in one of my funds. Whatever it is for you, click on the link below where it says Become a Client. All those links are below. You create your world, nobody else. And remember, never give up your power in your health, your wealth, or your time.